On June 20th, the FilutaTalks meetup took place at Work Lounge Karlin in Prague. This event, the first of a planned series of events hosted by Filuta AI, was focused on topics related to artificial intelligence. At FilutaTalks, Filuta AI co-founder Filip Dvorak met with Tomáš Mikulov and Martin Schmid to build awareness around the current state of AI development. The main topics were current language models, the strongest trends in AI today, the outlook for the future, and what is actually happening with AGI, artificial general intelligence. The speakers agree that there is a lot of conjecture around AI, and a public debate on this topic is crucial. Filip Dvorak worked in both academia and AI research, and was the first Czech citizen to work at the esteemed Palo Alto Research Center, where he consulted on projects for DARPA, an agency of the U.S. Department of Defense. Tomáš Mikulov has worked with Google, Microsoft, and Facebook. His 2013 publication on artificial intelligence is one of the most cited in the world. He is currently building a research team at the Czech Technical University in Prague. Martin Schmid has worked with Google DeepMind and IBM Research. He also built the world's most intelligent poker-playing AI. As co-founder at Equilibur Technologies, he is building the next generation of algorithmic trading. All three speakers are subject matter experts in AI and its practical applications, and remain involved in its development on a global level. Watch key outtakes from this interesting debate. Let's start with a general question. Why is AI such a popular buzzword today? And how does it influence our lives?
I think that influences the whole discussion in a huge way, because the reason I think we are discussing AI here today, and we were not discussing it so much like 10 years ago, and pretty much not at all 15 years ago, is because AI currently really makes money. It's used in Google search to improve the search. It's used say in YouTube to recommend you videos, or recommend you the ads. Maybe you don't want to see the ads, but that's how companies make money. And if you can do it 20% more accurate with some machine learning models compared to some rule-based approaches, then it's a huge amount of money. So I think that that's the strongest directions for me in AI, like connecting AI from academia, where it actually originated, with the real world, with corporations, where it actually adds real value.
And why should we use AI?
We are living in a world where actually experts on technology understand smaller and smaller fragment of the whole understanding of the humanity. 500 years ago, you had this Renaissance people, Renaissance scientists who did know maybe 20% of all the knowledge at the time of the whole humanity. Today, we have you have here experts who can comment something on language models or neural networks. These are small parts of like machine learning, or even more specifically supervised machine learning. And machine learning itself is just a small part of AI, and in the end you end up with experts today are experts on maybe like 0.00001% of all the knowledge of humanity. That's just too small. Our ability to make correct conclusions when it comes to joining different scientific fields, making correct conclusions when it comes to very complex topics like ecology, I think that we are getting to the point where we are not basically smart enough.
One of the most frequently heard terms in debates focused on AI is LLM, which stands for Large Language Models. What are they? And how do they work?
These days, my view of large language models is as a probabilistic aggregate of the big data that we feed into them, where the language models, they provide you with the most probable hypothesis based on data that they have previously captured, and the most likely, the most probabilistically the strongest hypothesis can be something that is very accurate and trustworthy if it has been presented in the original data. If the question that we ask, because it has been learning on the data from the internet, if that question we ask has been frequently in some form presented in the data, then it's going to be, the hypothesis that we get is going to be trustworthy. If there has been lots of data that were not fake,
they are based on the training data. Whatever is in the training data will be basically what these language models are producing. Their main characteristics is that they are probabilistic models, so they assign probability to any sequence of words. And of course, the meaningful sentences or the sentences that correlate well, that respect the regularities with the data from that or the patterns that appeared in the training data, these will actually have a high probability. And the sentences that don't respect the regularities from the training data, because it's basically either some random sequence of words or because the meaning of the sentences is wrong, then these sentences will get a low probability.
What can we expect from the field of AI in upcoming years? How will it change our lives?
One of the strongest directions where AI can bring value is application in automation. When we apply artificial intelligence as part of automating any type of process in the world, any type of industry, we can call it intelligent automation, and this market is steadily growing, and it's bringing lots of value to everyone, to a whole population on the earth. And some agencies are saying that it can save 30–40% of operations costs of every business in the world.
I will give like a concrete example that I'm looking forward to, and I expect actually sooner than in 15. And what I'm looking forward to is think of a large network that's been trained not on all the text out there or all the images out there, but say all of YouTube, all the movies out there. So we will get to a point where you will literally be able to type in, say, make me a Simpsons episode where Homer flies to a moon, and you will get like a 20-minute video that's perfect. It's fully generated, and it's like a new episode of Simpsons that you have never seen. And I think we will get there in the, say, next 5 to 10 years. And all that is needed is to train not just on text or images, but on all video.
What should be our approach towards AI in the Czech Republic and Europe? Can it improve our competitiveness?
I think that we as a society can be much richer than if we don't do it, and there is actually a danger that the countries that will actually not adapt to the current technology will have a disadvantage compared to the countries that are actually adapting. And that's one worry that I have about AI, that on one hand it's a great set of tools, but over the next 15 years, in particular, if things will continue going in the way they have been going over the last 15 years, there is certainly a danger for Czech Republic, for all Europe, that we will be actually missing in this AI cake, that basically part of the industry will get outsourced outside of Europe, and we will be more and more dependent on technology that we can't even reproduce, because it was already mentioned that the data is kind of like gold mine. And we as a society have some tough decisions that we have to make, because the opportunity is certainly here, but if we miss it, it can have actually negative economic outcome for our whole society, because there are other societies that are much more innovative and they are not afraid as much as Europeans. So I just hear too much of the AI worries here in Europe, while actually Americans or even Chinese are seeing it as an opportunity.
Should AI be regulated? And if yes, how?
I think that some regulations probably will have to be part of this industry, because it pretty much any industry that affects hundreds of millions of people is regulated in some way, including internet, cars, airplanes, or the electricity that I already mentioned before. So it will naturally be part even of this segment. I have this worry that maybe the big players who have all the money now can fortify their position. So the regulations will be made so that they actually serve their purpose, not the purpose of protecting actually people. So I already mentioned before that I think that regulations in Europe should keep in mind that AI is basically part of industry. It's not some magical box somewhere doing some magical wishes or whatever, but it's a real part of the real world. It's displacing already some of the jobs at the moment, and we should be really thinking about where the money goes and how to make Europe successful in the future, and not some abracadabra magic here and there, but they're like real things, real money. And I think that this is very, very important. important, because if we keep like discussing some magical stories and then make regulations that will create or change Europe into some kind of like a data mining colony of the US monopolies, then that's not going to be a successful future for us, because our economy will get hit, and we will lose again like millions of jobs that will be replaced by the US companies.
AI often provokes emotional discussions. Many people don't understand the technology, and they fear the unknown. Should we be afraid of AI?
I think it's deeply rooted in our culture, because even if you look at some fairy tales like DuckTales, if any of you remember, these animated series from Disney with the ducks, like it was very nice and fun. But if you remember, all the robots there basically at some point did revolt, and they were trying to kill their creators or whatever, or at least steal the gold from this duck with a lot of money. But I think that is impacting way too much our way how we think about AI, that once it becomes powerful enough, then it will try to turn against us, because it will see us as obsolete and it will kill us all and so on. I think that's totally mistaken view, because if you would build AGI around, say, this language modeling paradigm, that you just have like a really good model that can assign meaningful probabilities. So in a sense, I see AGI not as some standalone entity, some robots that will be like trying to kill us, but I see AGI more like as a symbiosis between humans and technology, where we together will be much smarter. You would have to stop building cars, because cars can crash and they can kill people, so maybe we should ban cars. Airplanes, they are dangerous as well. And electricity, come on, how many people were killed by electricity? So, like if you become overly careful, you are going to miss on the future. And I think that's one of the dangers as well, that today we hear too many strong claims about how AI is going to be dangerous and so on, and we can miss on the future because of this.
And last, but not least,
what's your favorite movie related to AI?
we hope you've enjoyed these keynotes from the first FilutaTalks meetup. Stay tuned for the full recording and the next discussion in this series. See you soon.